Oh my God, Daniel Padilla, Patrick Fernando.
Daghan kaayong salamat for the full support of the Tawanusa North Mid Chapter!
It's like a dream come true to me. I never imagined my life standing here in front of you with all the wet fires. I am so happy and overwhelmed with all your support.
2022 is a great year to start for our union of all wedding suppliers in Northern Mindanao.
This is an industry na gusto natin. I believe iba-iba ang mga profession nyo. Pero mas pinili natin na ito ang trabaho natin at ito ang maging negosyo natin. Kasi mahal natin itong industriya na ito.
Thank you so much, and I want to encourage each and every one of you to please do your best. Work hard lang kita because we plan that we will have another like this next year. So we are going to observe all of you, makeup artists, coordinators, event stylists. Who knows, you will be the next awardees of Wedding Supply Association of the Philippines. Thank you so much.
A pleasant afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this afternoon's episode of our talk show entitled Let's Talk About Weddings. Please allow me to begin by introducing myself. My name is Millicent Dayan Angeles, and I'll be your host this afternoon. And of course, I'd like to greet everyone who visits our Facebook page and watches our YouTube channel. Okay, I hope you're all having a good time. Just to see our viewers are doing, leave a comment or a heart and a wow response in the box below. All right. Before we welcome our guest speaker, I'd like to express our gratitude to the following sponsors for their support for today's event: Med Results, Accounting Portal Philippines, Alabang Realty Estate Directory, Mobile Palenque, Philippine Travel Expo, Philippine Virtual Expo, Philippine Workshops, Online Pasalubong, and Philippine Hotels Directory. If you have any questions during the broadcast, please leave them in the comments section. There will be time set aside at the end of the event for questions and answers. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce today's guest speaker. Our guest speaker this afternoon is a fashion designer and owns the Cu Terdillera, a startup fashion brand in the city of Pines, Baguio. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Muquiat Padong. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Good
Hi.
afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon too.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay naman po. Mm-mm.
Did you take your lunch na po ba? Nag-lunch na po ba kayo, sir?
Yeah, it a while ago. Yeah.
That's good to hear po. So, just to loosen up a bit po, how are you feeling right now?
Well, it's raining today as we speak, but it's okay. I'm a bit chilly, but I'm happy to be here.
That's good to hear. So, as we have our viewers right now in different places, can you give us a hint about yourself for our audiences to get to know you better?
Well, I am Muquiat Padong. However, some people or most of the people I know call me Mox, and yeah, as you made mention earlier, I am the proponent of Couture de Liara, a fashion brand that aims, um, the which aims to continue push the culture of Filipino, especially here in the Cordillera, into modern fashion. So yeah, I've been doing that for almost 6 years. 6 years this year, and yeah, that's basically about the brand that I have now.
So, as you have said po, it's already been 6 years. So, how did you start your career po? Is it your passion po ba talaga?
Well, to start off, I'm sorry, I actually did not graduate fashion of any sort. I only have an NC2 test the training before I entered college. And when I entered college, I wanted to pursue fashion at the same time study. I took up psychology. I graduated and took the board exam in 2019. So yeah, I actually basically consider myself a double major. Unfortunately, but it's not, that's not how it works. But I would like to call myself that. But yeah, I started even before I started college, and those my batchmates were actually the first clients that I had, and from there forward, they actually referred me to their peers and family members, and that's how it began. I started as a freelance for the 4 years that I stayed in college, and then when the pandemic struck, I decided to took matters into my own hands because I lost my job during the pandemic in 2020, and yeah. Um, I really wanted to stabilize myself as a designer, so I made a household name, which is now called Couture de Liara. So yeah, Couture de Liara wise, with my brand in itself, it's been for 3 years now, but the 6 years that I mentioned earlier is the span where I was designing for as a freelance. So 3 years as a Couture de Liara, 3 years as Couture de Liara, and 6 years as a designer on its own.
Design. Okay, so your designs are like ethnic yet modern but classy. So how do you do that po? Sa span po ba ng 6 years na yun, puro ethnic and modern designs po ba ang ginagawa nyo?
Not really. Not on the start of my freelancing as a designer. No, I actually catered to cosplayers. Because at that time my friend was a cosplayer, and she knew about what I can do as a designer. So she tried me out to make some costumes for her, and then she referred me to some of her peers and colleagues in the cosplay around here in Baguio and in Manila too. So that's where I had my head start. No, I used the money that I had there. As a college kid, you use those means or source of income to live your lavish lifestyle as a college student. But yeah, it actually gave me a platform, and it gave me an awareness that yeah, I can make a business out of what I do. Because I was really planning to um, I actually wasn't really planning to pursue it as a business, but when I saw that there's a market for me there, in both in a cosplay and in sophisticated design, that's when I knew na baka mag-work to sa akin. So I did try it out, and then of course there are fear. It is actually anxiety provoking, and it's quite fearful to start something new when you are in college, making your own path on its own. But what I did notice is that I actually talked to my sister, who is a finance graduate, and I talked about my proposition, my plan on how to make a business out of this. And she decided. She actually supported me. In fact, she actually helped me when it comes to my budgeting and finances and how to market stuff and how to do it with the means that I had. So yeah, it actually started there, and then once I transitioned to into more sophisticated fashion, I actually started into doing streetwear, and then wedding dresses, and then catering to private clients, and then pageant, and then all of these things to get to know who I am as a designer, and to get the niche that I wanted to pursue, and then it fall into Cotardillera, which is, it gave me a sense of purpose. I mean, fashion design in itself is purposeful. However, I wanted to do something more towards my community. And me being a Cordilleran myself, that is actually a light bulb that um, I wanted to incorporate my culture into everyday wear, because yun nga naman yung question is that in today's day and age, not only as a Cordilleran, but in Philippines in general, when will be the next we can be able to wear our ethnic or our traditional wear, whether it be in a formal event like weddings, birthdays, ceremonies. These are only events, niched events, special occasions where we can wear our ethnic attire. But how can we able to? The question is that how will we able to wear it daily? And that's where it hit me that I need to modernize these things in order for it to be worn um, daily, as every day as possible. Because if we're not going to wear it as often as possible, it's going to die. Culture in
Yes.
itself, if we're not going to take care of it, it's a waste of those years of building it. It's going to die. So yun yung purpose ng Cotordillera. So yeah.
What do you love about being a fashion designer?
Mm. I love the fact that I can impart something to people, especially when I do private clients, private projects like weddings and stuff. I love the fact that I can be a part of someone's happiness. Whether it be in whether it be one jacket, or whether it be a wedding dress, or whether it be a suit, or a simple item of accessory. I love the fact that they can give me smiles. I love the fact that they could give me comments. They saying that, oh, I love the dress that you made. Maganda yung quality ng gawa mo. I will recommend you to my friends and family. The other day, I actually received some feedback from my client who had actually ordered a couple of days ago, saying that, randomly saying that, sir, ni-recommend ko kayo sa mga kaibigan ko. To me, that is actually way of saying that this is a successful project. And at the bird's eye view, I could say that what I'm doing right now, I might not see it today because I'm still small, but from a bird's point of view, I could say that I am imparting something that could create someone's happiness, that could impart someone's happiness, or to be a part of someone's happiness. I might not be able to see it personally, but I could sense whether a project was fulfilled because of the feedbacks they gave me. That to me is actually um, very nice sa feeling as an artist. Kasi artist din tayo eh. We're not limited by the 2D art. So as an artist, it's actually a very, very nice thing to say that my creation has imparted happiness towards this person whom I'm not. I don't know, or who is a complete stranger to me. That to me is very, very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very heartwarming feeling po.
Yeah, it is. Of course. You know,
So, what
sino ba
is
naman
passion
ako,
for you po?
diba?
Tama po.
Yeah.
So, what is passion for you po?
Fashion for me, as I made mention earlier, fashion for me is art. It is a form of art. So the second question I had, because I before I was a designer, I was before I became a designer, I was a student. Before I was a student, I was an artist. I actually painted, drawn every media of art, every form of art I did. I actually started painting on clothes that I pre-owned before. So that's actually the thing that I um that's actually how I started. You know, how the second question is to me when I started fashion is that how will I be able to transform this 2D art into wearable art? So that's how I got into fashion. I actually intrigued myself into what fashion can offer. I thought it was just a lavish way of dressing up. You know, fashion is dressing up, but to me, giving these questions, you know, I answered your question earlier that how can how did couturier started. I wanted to incorporate my culture into my into the products I give. And now to answer your second question is that what is fashion to you? Fashion for me is art, and then how can I be able to make art worn and to be seen by many people. You know, we are you know, it all goes back, it all goes back to the saying, you're a blank canvas. So our body is a blank canvas, and we design it with clothes, or whether it be jewelry, whether it be tattoos, and yeah, art, art of fashion. And I give art through fashion, and these people can be able to see my art once they walk through the streets of wherever they go. So to me, that's so nice because hindi nasa stuck yung kung anong kaya kong gawin sa pader. It can be
You're
worn
being
and it can be
creative.
seen. Yeah. So to me, that is a very, very wonderful thing that fashion has to offer. Fashion to me is art in itself.
So, what are the skills that are necessary for being a successful fashion designer, just like you, sir?
Oh, um, uh, hmm. How about principles? You know, and yeah, to answer your questions as well. So for me, you just have to have the passion for it. You know, some people are into engineering, some people are into commerce, some people are into finance, and some people are into art. And when you break down those things that you really wanted to pursue, you can be able to uh, deepen your knowledge into it, and to find your niche where you want it to. So for me, um, patience, kasi hindi naman tayo pinapanganak na may alam na tayo agad. So we so um patience, you have to know if this is really for you. You have to try it out. You have to work or to see if it really goes into what you want in life. And then ganito kasi yung third question. So this is my third question to answer your question now. if I take this out of my life, will I be satisfied? That's the mindset. So if I take out fashion, if I take out my business, Couture de Lira, if I take out Couture de Lira out of the context of me, will I still be able to be me? Will I still be able to see me as me? So kapag yung answer mo is no, then try. Baka nga sa'yo, para sa'yo yun. So, yun, patience. And then next is hard work. So, sige, na-try mo na, di ba? Oy, baka para talaga sa akin to. So, hard work. You work it out, you attend classes, you enroll in classes, actually, hindi na nga, parang hindi na nga masyadong necessity ang mag-enroll talaga eh. Kasi everything is in the internet. You can learn a lot through the internet if you wanted to broaden your horizon. I'm sorry, it's raining, huh? I can hear the
It's
rain.
okay.
um, so yeah, that's actually how it is. Hard work and be the internet is free, knowledge is free by all means. So if you really wanted to horizon, put the legwork into it. Kasi at this day and age, swertihan na lang talaga kung pinanganak ka sa mayamang pamilya, di ba? Eh kung hindi, o work with all the means that you have. Libre ang internet. Kung wala kang smartphone, you go to an internet cafe, you browse all day long. And then, and then go back to the second step, para talaga ba sa'yo to? And then kung oo yung tatlong tanong, and then do the legwork, and then try it out with your friends, try it out with all that. That's part of hard work. And then, um, of course, I forgot, on top of those things that I said, you must have the drive for it. You must have the drive and the motivation for it. Kasi kapag drive, kapag drive pero walang hard work, daydreaming lang yun. Gusto mo lang yun. But if you put drive and work, passion yun. So, yun yung key elements for that. So, you must have those three things. So, you must have the drive, you
Drive,
must have the hard work, and you must
patience,
have the passion,
hard
as well
work.
as patience. Correct. So, those are the things that I put into me whenever I feel down. Kasi hindi naman tayo, shoo, it goes up
Laging
and down.
pataas.
Kasi, yeah,
Yes.
negosyo yan eh. Art, ano yan eh, passion yan eh. So, it's not really going to be a straight road. Sometimes you might hit rock bottom. Ay, tinatamad ako. But you always have to go back to why you started in the first place. That to me are the things that I should keep in mind and would still keep in mind when I'm old and gray.
Since you've created wonderful clothes, what is the most memorable you've ever made?
Sorry.
Since you've created wonderful clothes, what is the most memorable you've ever made?
Oh, the memorable thing that I've ever made was actually the very, very first dress that I made for a client. So, of course, I really have to tell a story because there's actually a very, very nice lesson towards it. My friend recommended me to make a simple black dress, very, very simple strapless satin black dress lang siya. And then, yeah, and then I talked to the client, ganyan, ganyan. And then when I actually was able to finish the dress, she actually returned it because it was actually too loose and it was not made properly daw. It did not meet the client's standards. So, of course, I cannot do anything kasi at saka takot din ako, di ba? I might get sued out of a black dress, di ba? So, I agreed to what she wanted. She wanted me to have a full refund of the dress. So, of course, syempre, lugi yun sa akin kasi syempre nabayaran ko na yung damit, ganyan, labor costing and all, etc., etc. But I gave the full refund. Anyway, it's actually not a big amount naman, so I gave it away na lang. So, yun. And then the reason as to why it was so memorable because other than it was my very, very first, um, it was memorable because I've learned so many lessons about that incident, no? First, I did not really believe in myself that I can do it. So, ginawa ko siyang takot and it did not go well. You know, when you do things blindsided, it really will take a toll na parang sasabihin talaga sa'yo ng mundo na wag kang matakot, otherwise I would fail you. So that's what
Yes.
actually happened. So one lesson that I learned out of that incident is that I have to make it with utmost confidence. Kahit na sa tingin mo hindi mo kaya, you go to the internet, you call,
You
you
browse the internet.
coordinate, yeah, you browse or you coordinate with your colleagues. I have friends who are also designers and I coordinate with them. Um, ask me to help, ask them to help me.
Get
So,
their
yun.
opinions.
Uh-huh, correct. And second is that you have to listen to your guts, no? Kasi parang nung ginagawa ko siya, I was about to finish na eh. Pero parang nasa isip ko na parang hindi tama. Kasi parang masyadong madali. Parang gano'n. And parang ako, hindi okay lang yan, hindi okay lang yan. So, yun, parang I was actually having a mental battle, no, when I made the dress. And I did not really listen to my gut that something is not right. So,
Right.
yun, it did not fit, ganyan, ganyan. So, yun. And then, actually, the lesson that I learned revolves around anxiety. Kasi nga, very, very first, ganyan, ganyan. And I did not listen to what my client wanted as much. I was very, very stubborn and very, very strict with with my aesthetic, taking out of the context the client's aesthetic. So I have to listen too. So that's the third thing. So yun, very memorable siya. But those are the key things that I have improved. And then since then, everything was like, okay, okay na siya.
Natuto na po.
Yung mga,
Natuto na.
natuto na ako. Yung mga sumunod na clients ko, okay na yung feedback sa akin, okay na, ganyan, ganyan. May mga slippery slope na kailangan ng alterations, may mga refunds here and there, or may mga bawas-bawas, ganyan, ganyan. Pero natututo ka sa mga ganun. Don't take it as a plain mistake. Take it as a point for improvement. Yun, yung mga kamalian na yun, those are the very, very best teachers that I made. You know, 6 na taon na ako sa negosyo ko, tapos hindi pa ako di ba? There's still more. And if you're not immune to those kind of feedback, those negative incident, hindi ka mag-grow talaga. Kapag ang inaasahan mo lang is very, very positive, agad-agad yayaman ka na kasi maganda yung negosyo mo. That's not how life works eh. So you have to experience those things because those things will put you into something greater. You know, it's a springboard for happenings in your life, whether it be in your personal life or in your business. Your things shut probably. And trust me, it would springboard you into something greater. Nawalan ako ng 2 trabaho in year. So, yun. Nawalan ako ng yun.
Ang galing naman po. Ang daming ups and downs, pero sa journey na yon natuto ka po and nag-enjoy.
Oo naman. 'Di ba di ba sinabi ko nawalan ako ng trabaho dahil nawalan ako ng trabaho, nagkaroon ako ng oras para mag-isip para sa negosyo ko. Ito ko ngayon. Oh. So, ganun lang siya.
Bongga.
Dali lang yun. Oo.
So, how do you define your personal style po?
How do I define my personal style?
Yes.
It's very similar to my ready to wear, you know. It's very everyday talaga. It's very athleisure, no? Sweatpants, hoodie or t-shirt. Kasi I also go to the gym and I have a job. So yun, I actually have another job aside from fashion design. I'm a therapist for kids. So yeah, I wear comfy clothes. I don't wear very lavish things unless I'm going somewhere fancy. So yeah. But yun nga parang kapag nakikita nga nila ako, parang hindi nila naisip na I can make these things talaga. Kasi it's very
Very
it's
chill
very drastic.
lang.
drastically far from what. Oo. Hindi mo naman kasi ano ayoko kaya sinusuot yung mga ginagawa ko. Weird kaya.
Pero seeing your designs po, ang ganda niya po tignan.
Oh, thanks.
So, talking about
Well,
weddings naman po.
yeah,
Sige
pero
po.
sorry? Sorry, ano yun?
So, now po, let's talk about weddings. So, weddings are changing as the traditional bridal
Mm,
industry losses touch with millennials. And newcomers are reaping the rewards. So,
mm.
how can designers like you keep up po? How do your designs and creations keep up with that?
Oh, okay. So, first of all, I'm 23 years old. So, fresh pa tayo.
Wow.
Well,
Fresh
kaya
pa.
ako nasabi,
Marami pang
no, that we have a
ideas.
fresher take on, yeah. The reason why I said that, no offense to people who have been in the game for so long, but, there's an edge for being young because we have a fresher take on things. Since for me personally, I do keep up on these trends, as you may call it, through the internet. The internet will give you every knowledge of the world that has to offer. So you have to use them. Mga ganyan. The Instagram is free, social media is free. So I keep up on those trends with those free things. Of course, you don't have to pay for the
Is
internet.
Pinterest helpful po ba?
Hmm?
Is Pinterest
Sorry?
helpful po ba?
Oo naman, madami akong techniques na natutunan doon. Especially nung nagsa-start ako. Kasi syempre kapag sa TESDA, ituturo sa'yo yung basics. O, ganyan. O siguro konting intermediate classes. Pero kapag ikaw na talaga, tapos medyo eme-eme ka pa, tapos bata-bata ka pa, syempre kailangan mo talagang matututunan yung mga ganito, ganyan. Actually, I learned how to make corset out of through Pinterest.
Corsets, ang
Yeah,
ganda
corset
po
is very
nun.
very hard to make. Corset is very very hard
Yes.
to Yeah, corsets are very very hard to study. And I've learned them through Pinterest and YouTube. Yeah.
Wow.
So, those are the things that I use in order for me to keep up with trends, especially also I have friends who are also getting married. So they give me input. So, ganito yung mga gusto nila. So, these might be the trends, the minimalistic things. So, nag-work din kasi minimalist din akong designer. I really don't like beading. Wala akong patience mag-beads, wala akong patience mag-lace. I'm really into the civil weddings, like, yeah, tsaka minimalistic weddings. Very, very streamlined per se, if you go into a deeper wording. So, very, very streamlined, very, very tailored, very clean. Yun yung mga trip ko talaga, which is, nag-work naman siya kasi di ba ngayong pandemic, bawal ang mga magandang event, bawal ang mga malalaking events.
Yes.
So they stuck with civil weddings and small gatherings. And with that said, they want it to be as simple as possible to as close as possible. I saw this wedding of Jesse Menjola and um, Angel Locsin, right? And they were all civil weddings, right? Yung kay Jessie
Yes.
Manjola, medyo garden pa yun eh. But it's still a small gathering, no? But you can see
Gathering.
them wear, yeah, you can see them wearing clean things. And for me, nag-work siya. Actually, I have a lot, not naman a lot, several clients who wanted to have a civil wedding, and I catered to them, and they actually loved it because it's so simple yet so clean and classy. And some of their guests actually commended for their outfit. So, points for me. Ganon.
So, have you ever dealt with difficult client po ba? In what ways they were difficult and how did you handle the situation?
Mm. Pag ano, when I have bulk orders, especially ngayon, no? Kasi wedding season ngayon, ano, yung my schedule kasi, 'di ba, I made mention I have a job outside of fashion design. So, I have 24 hours in a day, 6 or 7 hours of that is to sleep, and the remain are divided into three parts. So, my private clients, my my apparel, my clothing line, and my work as a therapist. So, minsan nagbubuhol-buhol yung schedule ko and minsan mahirap siya when it comes to time, especially kapag nagra-rush ka. But, at saka mag-isa mo kasi, yun yung mahirap pag maliit ka tapos mag-isa ka. Yun yung mahirap. Pero,
Yes.
yun lang naman. Tapos, ang mahirap pag nadidelay yung delivery ng tela. Siyempre, madidelay lahat ng gagawin mo. Ganyan. Oh, so kapag yun lang naman, minor things. Time and tsaka um, yung logistics ng materials mo. Yun dun ka nagkakatalo kasi I live in Baguio eh. I don't have access to the bulk orders. Meron naman dito but of course they have to import it and then there are added expenses na.
Yes.
But when I order it through your area siguro in Divisoria, Dao or Baclaran, ganyan, they actually cater to bulk orders and it's a lot more cheaper, no? So, dun lang nagkakatalo siguro kung saan ako kukuha ng gagamitin ko and yung time at saka minsan I do a lot of things single-handedly. Minsan kulang sa oras tapos dun napapagod ka na. But it's okay. It's part of it.
Do you have staffs po ba to help you?
Wala. 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 Siyempre,
So, ikaw po talaga
yeah,
lahat.
mahirap pa.
Ang
Yeah,
galing.
mahirap pa. Pero siguro, ano, next year. Next year, ganun. Pag medyo pwede
Meron
na
na.
tayong lumabas-labas. Pag wala na si COVID, ganun.
Do you have
Ganun.
clients po ba outside Baguio?
I do. I actually do. Outside car, meron, mga ilan-ilan. Pero mostly, ano eh, um, outside Baguio meaning outside of, ah, ah, outside
Like
Baguio
Manila
pero hindi,
po, ganon.
meron naman. Meron din naman. More on clothing na kasi yun, more, hindi na siya weddings eh. Kasi,
Oh,
syempre kapag wedding ka, kailangan makita ka nila, kailangan may mga
yes.
consultation yan. Eh, ayaw nila ng online. They inquire pero pag nalaman nilang hindi kami we don't live in the same city, aayaw na sila. So my clients basically for weddings, if that's the one you're asking, are mostly Baguio based.
So, what makes your creation po successful and how do you measure that success?
Mm. I go back to what I said earlier. To measure the level of success of a project is when I can hear and see the client's face. Kapag okay ang feedback, okay, successful yung project. O kapag kapag na sobrang nasayahan yung kapag sobrang nasayahan yung client mo tapos nagbigay ng tip kasi meron yung ibang brides na nagtitip eh. Yung mga bigati na brides natin, titip sila. Yan. O di successful yung project, nagtip sila eh. O yun. Or simple, mag-send sila ng random pictures pairing your design. Send sila ng random photos na sobrang saya nila. They would actually would send a message na they love the dress. My mom
Parang all
didn't
worth
expect this
it
to
sa
be this
dulo,
beautiful.
ganon.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's not pricey, pero it looks like this. It looks like this amount of, parang sasabihin nila na it looks like, let's say, it's look like a 50,000 dress, but you spend ganyan-ganyan. To me, it's like an achievement. Alam mo yun? Para ang saya-saya. And then, dadalhin mo yun ng isang buong araw na ang saya-saya mo. Like, no one can hurt you kasi nasabihan ka ng sobrang ganda nung gawin. No one can hurt you for the day.
Right. You should celebrate, parang ganon po.
Yeah.
So as you can see, Sir Mukiat, as a result of the pandemic, several businesses are struggling, including the industry you are since mass gathering is prohibited po. So
Mm.
my question is, how do you see this pandemic as an opportunity to grow your business and career na po?
Ooh, yeah. So since I am working as an e-commerce, so for those of you who don't know what an e-commerce is, it's basically a business online.
Business.
It's an online business um without any what do you call this? Physical shop, you know. Of course, there are ups and downs when it comes to that. Pero you see it as a nice thing kasi you don't have to pay for your rent, you don't have to pay for this and that. You can actually work under the table, ganyan ganyan. And also to reiterate what I said earlier, to keep up with the trends, the trends during the pandemic are so minimalistic, so it benefits me. Kasi I could still charge, I could still work with little amount of work, and yun. And I actually hindi ko naman sinasabi, pero parang I don't want to toot my own horn, pero some of the brides would say that I am so good at what I do that they don't they don't mind paying a lot, but I don't charge a lot actually. Yeah, I should, but anyway. So yun.
Humble lang,
Word
humble.
oh, word of mouth na lang kasi yun eh. Dun dapat dun yun eh, kasi the word of mouth is the powerful marketing tool that you can have. So,
Yes.
during the pandemic, o naggumawa ka ng isang wedding dress during the pandemic, o tapos kinalat niya sa mga kaibigan niya, nagkaroon ka ng 3 client. So, yun. Okay na yun. For me, nagka-thrive na ako dun. Yeah. Thrive na
So
tayo
sa
dun.
dami po ng naging achievements niyo sa buhay, do you consider yourself successful na po ba? Lalo na sa age niyo po ngayon na ang dami niyo nang na-achieve. So, or do you want more? And what are the reasons you strive more pa po?
Hmm. Hindi ko pa masabing successful ako career-wise kasi wala pa akong award. Di pa ako nabibigyan ng fashion award or trophy. Yan, charot. But anyway, there's still a lot. There's still a lot of things that I haven't tapped into with my age. I don't know. I might be dead tomorrow, but with the things that I haven't done, there's still a lot of things. But to answer your question, if I am successful now, all I can think is not yet, but getting there. Kasi as people, we strive to be successful. We strive to be sufficient in life. We strive to be stable in life. So that's the aim of a human being kasi, to be stable, whether it be at my 25th year, or whether it be at my 30th, or whether it be at my 65th. The permanent goal is to be stable, and to be stable means you have achieved enough, and that correlates to me is a success, and I haven't done that much of stability yet. There's still a lot of things for me to eat. Madami pa akong bigas na kakainin. To say, kapag tagalogin natin. But to answer your question, if I am successful already, if I consider myself successful, I am successful because, yes, I am successful in a sense that I have taken the steps that I have taken before. To me, to talk to you right now into this show means that I am successful in taking steps and pushing myself forward. Am I successful in life in general? I don't think so. But am I successful in taking steps that gets me to the success that I want?
Yes.
Of course, that I can say.
Because you're striving to
Of
be
course,
better.
that's the basic thing of that's the basic most basic thing that a human person can live can do here on earth, is to thrive against these things that we have.
So before we end our conversation, Mr. Mukyat, throughout the process of a successful life, may mga taong naging rason kung bakit tayo nandito ngayon. So Sir Mukyat, who are the people you want to thank for where you are now?
Oh, okay. So that's actually a hard question for me to answer, but to give you the most polite answer, or the most yung hinihintay na sagot, is I would like to thank my parents and family for me ganyan ganyan. I would like to thank them because they supported me, blah blah blah. But most importantly, I would like to thank the things I would like to
Myself.
uh oo naman, pero of course I wouldn't be here without them. They really did not hinder me. They did not hinder me to do things that I want. Of course, some of us does not have that kind of luxury na free tayong pumili ng kung anong gusto natin, or meron man tayong means, but some people aren't allowing us to have that kind of freedom. And they actually gave us all of us, they actually gave us the some sort of freedom for us to choose, because at the end of the day they are not going to be the ones making a living out of for us. You know, we are going to make a living out for us at the end of the day. So for the parents out there, I would like to say this, that kung ano yung gusto ng anak nyo, makinig na lang kayo. Kasi hindi kayo masyadong matagal din. Hindi kayo magtatagal dito. Charot. Anyway, that's a story. That's another story. But yeah, to say the least, I would like to thank people who have made me and shaped me into what I've become, like my teachers, my mentors, people who have posted on Pinterest, people who have posted vlogs on YouTube on how to make things. I would like to thank you all. But first, I would like to thank my friends who gave me a head start into my career, and their colleagues, and those the clients that came before my clients today. I would like to thank them as well, because they were so patient, they were so nice to talk to, they gave me so much knowledge that until this day I still put them into my brain, and I look back at it once when I need them. You know, people that have taught me a lot. Basically, I would like to thank them. I wouldn't be here without them.
So that concludes our question and answer session. Now you have the stage. Would you like to promote your business, sir?
I think yeah, yeah, I would. Follow me on my business page here on Facebook at Couture de Liara, as well as my Instagram at Couture de Liara as well. If you want to make if you want me to make you a clothing piece for your special event, or for your regular walk down the street, please hit me up, and I will be personally messaging you back, and let's discuss your next big clothing piece from Couture de Liara.
That's so nice. Thank you, Sir Mukyat, for sharing some of your valuable time with us this afternoon and providing us with your wonderful stories, tips, and inspiring insights. I hope lahat ng nakikinig at nanonood ay minapulot na aral ngayong hapon. So, but we're not finished yet. Let's just take a commercial break for a moment. Hello there. I hope our audiences were able to take notes and, more importantly, learn from today's speaker. Thank you so much for being our special guest speaker for this afternoon, Sir Mukyat. As a gesture of our gratitude for your participation, you will be receiving an e-certificate. This certificate is proudly presented to Mr. Mukyat Padong for imparting valuable knowledge during the Let's Talk About Weddings as a guest speaker on April 9, 2022. Once again, thank you, Sir Mukyat, for your time, and I hope you also enjoyed our talk show this afternoon. Again, we would like to thank the following sponsors for this WSAP Updates event: Med Results, Accounting Portal Philippines, Alabang Estate Realty Directory, Mobile Palengke, Philippine Travel Expo, Philippine Virtual Expo, Philippine Workshops, Online Pasalubong, and Philippine Hotels Directory. Thank you for your support for our event. Before we end this afternoon's event, stay tuned for another episode of Let's Talk About Weddings on April 10, 5 p.m. with Miss Bianca Gonzalez, and Palawan Wedding Expo on April 22, 2024, and introducing the new segment of WSAP, the WSAP Masterclass. You will teach as you learn, and you will learn as you teach. It will provide any aspiring Filipino the opportunity to learn more about the various aspects of the wedding industry. This portion will allow them to watch and learn from the pros' advice. And of course, Wedding Expo in Bataan, May 13 to 15. Zamboanga Wedding Expo, KCC Mall de Zamboanga, May 21, 2022. Davao Wedding Expo, NCCC Mall, Buhangin, May 27 to 29. Tagaytay Wedding Expo, Fora Mall, June 17 to 19. Cavite Wedding Expo, City Mall, Anabu, June 24 to 26. Cavite Wedding Expo, SM Rosario, July 22 to 24. CDO Wedding Expo, City Mall, Bulua, July 8 to 10. Bacolod Wedding Expo, City Mall, Bandalagan, July 22 to 24. And of course, Tarlac Wedding Expo, City Mall, Tarlac, July 29 to 31. We would also like to promote the Wedding Suppliers Association of the Philippines Incorporated membership. Be a proud member. If you're still not a member, what are you waiting for? Visit our Facebook page and direct message us for your inquiries. Thank you for attending today's Altaw episode, and especially to our guest speaker, Mr. Muquiat Padong. Once again, I am Millicent Dayan Angeles, now signing off. On behalf of WSAP, thank you for your time and consideration. Stay safe and have a wonderful day, everyone.
We spend our time falling out of line, 'cause we know time won't change a thing. We spend our lives counting all the lights of the night, 'cause they won't stay forever. When forever ends, we will not end. Time won't change a thing. Let